No problem, Your Honor.
My brother has struggled with a drug addiction for most of his life. About 5 years ago, it tore his family apart. His wife filed for divorce, and was awarded full custody of their son. This is all right and proper, as brother was in no condition to be a father at this time. The road to recovery has been long, but my brother has been working the program and has now been clean for several years. He has no formal custody of his son, though he gets visitation at his ex-wife's discretion. He's been a good and stable father to his son in the last years. However, his ex has not wanted to allow for the possibility that brother has become well. In fact, she has begun jerking him around with visitation, even planning on removing son from his father for a period of several months so she can take a long vacation with her new family.
Brother, not willing to let this slide, immediately filed for joint custody. The court case was just a day ago, and as expected, his ex has badmouthed his former drug abuse and attempted to paint him as still an addict and a threat to their son. Again, he totally has not him being clean for years, employed, and owning his own home now. The ex was so self-deluded and confident that he had backslid, that she loudly demanded, in front of the judge, that my brother provide a letter from the local president of drug counseling program, stating that he has attended every meeting for the last several years. My brother smiled at the judge, and said, "Not only is that not a problem, Your Honor, but I can provide that document today." The judge asked how this is possible. Did brother already think to bring it with him? No, Your Honor. But, you see, I am the president of our local chapter. I wish I could see the look on that hateful bitch's face. It's not official yet, but yeah, he's totally getting joint custody. Edit. I hate adding edits, but it's apparently necessary. Yes, I said, hateful bitch. I understand that this may not seem justified to many of you given the context of this story. A story that is limited in scope, and in no way attempts to capture the whole of reality. I have my own personal reasons for my feelings toward the ex, which are completely outside of the scope of this story, and which I have no intention of sharing here. But I understand why you may be confused reading that.
This was enjoyable to read. Thank you for sharing it. Congratulations to your brother and his successes.
A nice twist of r/Don Diao Huyam.
I thought the judge was going to be the president.
Have a friend whose ex had custody and was jerking him around in the courts, making all sorts of false accusations, and using their daughter despite him. At one of the court appearances, she demanded that he be sent for a drug test. He doesn't even take aspirin. He said he'd go for one right now if she did too. He passed. She failed. He got full custody. I hope your brother continues to forge ahead with his recovery and you form a new and better relationship as brothers. Something to keep in mind: I don't know enough details to say if what I wrote below is the case here, but I have seen enough custody battles that people sometimes neglect the child's role. Did the kid want to go on the multi-month vacation? Depending on what it is. I know plenty of kids who would be thrilled about that idea. If so, the kid is just going to view this as his dad now taking away his vacation because of issues between him, his ex, which, even if he now has joint custody, telling him he can't go is just going to hurt their relationship in the short term, and possibly long term, more than going on the vacation could. Even with a spiteful ex whispering who knows what into the kid's ear. Like I said, I've no idea if this is the case here. Not enough information to tell.
Just have seen a lot of former addicts focus on getting custody that they don't realize other ways it's impacting the kid.
It's important to realize just how damaging addiction can be to someone's trust in you. Especially considering she was there for every day of it for a long time and she has her son to look out for. I get where you're coming from as his sibling and all, but it does have a lasting effect on people. I love a good story of redemption. You will post an update when the case is done, right? I'm glad your brother is getting joint custody. But having seen my niece and nephew come through the shitstorm that is having a drug addict father, I don't blame the mother for being skeptical at all. She was the one dealing with the fallout with the kid and knows the pain it caused them. If you go into this with a confrontational mindset, then that makes you know better than how you are painting the mother in your mind. It's not a competition to win. It's a person's life. A document from the president verifying that the president was there for every meeting? I doubt that would fly. Not to rain on your parade, but going from visitation at ex's discretion to joint custody would be a big leap. Especially for a spouse with a documented history of addiction. And it might put your brother in danger. Suddenly being a custodial parent, even half-time, will bring an enormous amount of new stress. I hope it works out. But everyone may be better served by a more gradual schedule of ramped-up visitation. Am I hearing this right? Her horrible plot is to go on a long vacation? I mean, he was an addict. I'm sure there's always that fear of him backsliding. Hateful bitch. 5 years is a drop in the ocean if your brother has been struggling most of his life with addiction. The road to recovery isn't just long. It is forever. He will always be at risk for relapse. She has a right to be wary. It's a great thing that your brother is sober now. But the damage has been done. You can forgive him, but not for other people. I'm really glad your brother has done a really great job at remaining sober. But calling the mother of his child a hateful bitch seems wrong. She had to raise their child for years on her own. And suddenly, he's just waltzing right back into their lives. Have you considered the damage done to his child and that perhaps the mother is concerned? What happens if your brother does happen to relapse and fall off the deep end again? I'm not saying people don't deserve second chances, but calling the mother here a hateful bitch seems really wrong to me. As a recovering addict, clean from heroin going on 8 years, I love to hear success stories like this. It keeps me going. Congrats to your brother on his recovery. He should be very proud of himself. I hope he doesn't let his ex get him down. I know the words sting badly even though they are not true. I am hoping he will enjoy being a full-time dad now that he has joint custody. Hurrah! My ex was an addict and alcoholic. I'm glad your brother was able to successfully maintain sobriety. My ex never did. He'd be good. Then self-sabotage. It eventually killed him. And my kids lost their dad at 14 and 15. Good on your brother for making his sobriety his #1 priority. It's the only way. I'm not sure what counts as bad-mouthing former drug abuse, but I would guess it's 110% justified. Maybe he is better now, but he likely put his ex and child through pure hell for his own selfishness. But she's a hateful bitch. That sort of betrayal takes years to get past. I can't blame anyone for not wanting to forgive and forget after, what, a couple years. People do get better. But with serious drug abuse, they've generally destroyed all trust, and that takes a long time to heal if it ever does. This is incredibly one-sided. This may be an unpopular opinion, but as a child of an addict is always an addict even if they're clean for long periods. Even if they're clean forever, it does not erase the hundreds of broken promises and the utter terror kids like me were put through when there were relapses. Please, tell me, how is this fighting good for your brother's son? He may have come a long way from addiction, and that's great. But I think it's time that both parents start working towards what's best for their shared offspring. Good. At least now the son doesn't have to go on long vacations with the family he mostly grew up with.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.